Greetings, everyone. My name is Darius Tubbs. I am the Graduate Student Success Coordinator here at Stephen F. Austin State University, and I am going to record a brief video demonstrating how to use our InfoReady system for submitting theses, dissertations, proposals, or exhibitions. As many of our graduate students know, your master's, your dissertation degrees end usually using you usually have some kind of culminating project, in most cases a thesis or a dissertation. Thesis for master students, dissertations for students who are pursuing a doctorate. And so I just want to show you very briefly how to access those submission portals. So we're going to start at the SFA website. From here, we're going to go under academics. We want the graduate school. And from the graduate school homepage, we're going to go under graduate students and faculty. And let's go to dissertations, exhibitions, and theses. Now, this page is important because it has a lot of very valuable information as far as completing these things in a timely manner. So I'm going to actually start with the important dates. This is a good page to reference often as you are working towards a thesis or a dissertation, in that it provides you the deadlines for submitting applications. It gives you the deadline for having your defense exams, and it has the deadline for submitting all of your deficient coursework. So essentially, this page will tell you at any given step what needs to be turned in and when does it need to be submitted. So keep that in mind. But from here, we're going to go back to the dissertations, exhibition, and theses. These pages are cool because they kind of they outline the whole process from the policies and procedures here to how mechanically it should be structured as far as formatting goes. And we also have all of the parts of a dissertation. And this is the same for fine arts exhibitions because while it's slightly different, it has a lot of the same parts, like the parts of an exhibition and whatnot. And the exact same thing for theses. It gives you the policies and procedures for writing a thesis, forming a committee, what the formatting should look like, and of course, those parts. But we are here to talk about how to submit a proposal, a thesis, or a dissertation. So from this page, we can go to submitting a dissertation, exhibition, proposal, or thesis, and it opens up this nice little block for us. And so what you'll notice is that some applications are very specific. So for instance, earth sciences and geologic resources and the schools of music, their applications are a little bit different. So unless you are specifically with those colleges, do not use those applications. Everyone else, you have applications for proposals. Go here. Remember, you have to submit your proposal at least one semester prior to when you intend to graduate. You cannot propose and defend that proposal, or defend your manuscript in the same semester. So you propose, say, for instance, you propose in the spring, then the earliest you can defend your thesis or dissertation would be that summer, but more than likely it will be the following fall semester. So sometimes we might run into a situation where we might need to change who our committee chair is or change committee members. We have a form for that here. And this button will take us to the InfoReady platform. So if you're just submitting a proposal, you can click that. If you're just submitting a defense application, you can click that. But I want to show you what the whole web page looks like. So this is what the graduate page of the InfoReady submission portal looks like. It gives you some information, welcoming you and whatnot. And then over here, I'm going to click login. Now, typically, just like with all SFA platforms, you just click SFA, Stephen F. Austin State University login, and that will take you to the single sign-on page. It's exactly the way you log into my SFA. But for my purposes today, I'm going to use one of my dummy accounts so that I can walk you through the process. Okay. So from here, now that I'm logged in, it's got my name up there and everything. So say, for instance, I've been working with my thesis director, and I'm ready to submit my proposal. And to do that, I'm going to click the application for thesis, dissertation, exhibition, proposal. Not to be confused with the exam. You always have to do the proposal first, and then you have the exam for it, at least the following semester. So Starting with the proposal, I'm going to click that. And here it gives me some information. It tells us who the administrators are of this page. It tells us kind of what the procedure is and how everything should work out. It's got an acknowledgement statement. And so I'm going to click submit. You'll notice that it's automatically populated my first and last name here. That's great. All the other information is pretty straightforward. So they ask you for your student ID, what major you are. You can select whether you're doing a thesis, dissertation, or exhibition. I'm going to say thesis. And then I'm going to call this InfoReady and you. How to use the InfoReady platform, or whatever your proposal title is, that's where you would put it. And here is the link where you would submit your draft. So you can click that and it opens up and you can just kind of select whatever file you want to submit for that proposal. On the next page, it takes me to my primary organizations. This part is very important. Under primary organization, research and graduate studies, I click this. Make sure you pick the correct college. So for instance, since I'm with the College of Education and Ed Studies, if I say, for instance, clicked Allied Health Studies, then my application would be held up a little bit because it would be sending it to the wrong department head and the wrong college dean. So if you were with fine arts, make sure you pick the right subcategory. The same with forestry and agriculture or environmental science. The same with the College of Sciences and Mathematics. Make sure you select the correct area so that there are no delays. But for me, I want to go ahead and put myself under education studies. I'm going to click save. And now that I know that the correct people are going to get my application. From here, I would put in my committee chair's email address. Make sure that you get that correct. So I'm going to pretend that Dr. Qualls is my committee chair, and then I would put in other people. Let's say, I'm just pulling names out of the College of Education. All right. And so typically we will have 4 committee members, but there's a 5th spot here. As the instructions state up here, if you don't have 5 committee members, you're going to use Theses and this. You're going to use this email address in this box. And basically this email address just sends me a notification and lets me know to move that application forward. Here's another cool feature. There is not, as of today, a way for your thesis advisor to access the system and look up where your application is. But if you input your email address here, and I would advise you to put your thesis director's email address there as well, separated by commas, what then happens is that after the committee chair approves your proposal, you will get a notification letting you know, hey, it's past this step. Once the rest of your committee members complete their approval, then you'll get another email saying all committee member steps have been completed, so on and so forth. For those of you doing more intense research that required some research approval, whether it's IACUC, or IRB or IBC, we've got a place for you to do it here. So if I do require that, I'm going to click yes, and then I'm going to upload the most recent IRB file that I have. From here, I click preview, and this gives me an opportunity to make sure that I didn't mess anything up. So basically, make sure that your primary organization is correct. Make sure that you've spelled your email addresses correctly, so on and so forth, and then you would click submit. Pretty straightforward, but say for instance, so that's just what it looks like for the proposal. For your actual manuscript, if you're doing a defense application, it's very, very similar. So I'll show you how that looks really quickly. This gives you a little bit more context. It kind of goes over what the standards, and as far as formatting goes, it kind of goes into a little bit deeper into more details, but it's kind of the same process. I'm going to click submit. It's going to ask me some questions. It's already got my first and last name up here. I can give my ID number, I can give my concentration, title. The big difference here is that you will input the date and time of your defense exam. Typically, you have worked with your advisors up until this point, and you all have decided on the exact date and time that you're going to be having your exam. We're also going to add the location. Some of our students, a lot of our students are remote and they're taking their classes online. So here you would put Zoom, and then here you would paste the Zoom link for the defense. After that, you go back to the primary organization, and here is a place for you to submit your document as a Microsoft Word, and another place for you to submit it as a PDF. And very similarly, you go through the same, you put your same committee members through these, and then here you can put your email address and your advisor's email address if you want to follow the application. But that's all there is to it. So I hope this was informative and useful. It's pretty straightforward. Again, my name is Darius Tubbs. If you have any questions about this process or any other questions related to the thesis dissertation process, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. My email address is darius.tubbs, Tubbs, @sfasu.edu. Thank you for your time today, and Axum Jacks.